Greater Allegheny United Fund, GAUF. People helping people. Well, who are we? We are a nonprofit organization that helps provide support for local charities that directly help those in our area who are in need. Our money stays in the Allegheny Highlands for our people. Our motto is people helping people. We believe that if we all work together for one goal, lives can be changed for the better. Why can't you just give to the United Way? Well, the United Way does not have a campaign in our area because the GAUF is taking care of that. You can donate through the United Way, though, but please make sure to allocate the funds to the Greater Allegheny United Fund. This way, we'll know our money stays here. Who decides where the money goes? Volunteers. Our board is made up of all volunteers who care about our community. They're your neighbors, their friends. They create a budget, which is then voted on by members. Who is a member? Anyone who donates to the GAUF within the past 12 months is a member. You're welcome to attend meetings and vote. We want your opinion. So the GAUF is not just an organization that you write a check to. You become a part of the GAUF family. We have approximately only about an 8 to 9% overhead for administrative and operational costs. To see how this is significant, other like organizations have set goals of 12 to 20% overhead. We want to make sure more of your money stays where it needs for the people that matter in our area that need assistance. Where does our funding go? Let's meet some of our charitable agencies. As you see them on the screen, you will hear testimony from a few of the agency representatives during our 2015 budget hearings. First, we have the Red Cross.
I went on a fire call in Roanoke. There was snow on the ground. It was very, very cold, and it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got a call from the disaster manager. We got there, fire trucks are everywhere, and snow is everywhere. It's very, very bitter. This house was burnt to the foundation. There was nothing left. And so I got into the back of the ambulance rescue squad vehicle, and they had the family in there. And what this family consisted of was 2 male adults and their father who had dementia. And he knew something terrible was going on, but he really didn't know what was going. I mean, he was upset and he didn't really understand what was happening. But his adult sons were just so distraught, and it was the most intimate experience to be with these folks who had lost every single thing they had. This one man, but he had on a pair of stretch pants and they had holes burned in them. He had a pair of house slippers on. He did manage to have his jacket, but he didn't have any socks on. He had an undershirt on, and he was freezing to death, and he was shaking because he was upset. It was very, very, and he before it was over with was crying, and I felt like I had walked into a very intimate situation to have been with these men. They'd lost every single thing they had, and they didn't know what they were going to do with their dad, and they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have anything. They couldn't even get in touch with anybody. And so luckily, I had a cell phone. He called his girlfriend, and their dog had died. It was extreme. It really, really changed the way I looked at the world. It made me realize that we're all very vulnerable, and it happens so quickly and so unexpectedly, and we can be prepared. It's just very devastating to find yourself with no means to do anything. And that's what the Red Cross does. We're literally there immediately when it happens.
Salvation Army.
A young woman that we had, she came into our offices around Christmas, and she was asking us, if we could help her with her getting kids toys and all that, to sign her up for the angel tree. And we said, yeah, of course. So we signed her up, and she left, and she was thrilled that her kids were going to have more than what she could get them for Christmas, because she was working a small job, maybe just over minimum wage is what she was making. So, like I said, single mother, 2 kids, trying desperately to provide for them. She came in January, and she said, she was really thankful that we were able to help her out with the toys. And she says, but I needed help with my electric bill, if you guys could help me out with that. And we said, yeah, of course, that's not a problem. And so we helped her out with the electric bill. And Kim, while she was sitting with her, gave her just a little encouragement, because this woman obviously was just at the end of her rope, not knowing exactly what to do and all that stuff. And so Kim asked her if she had a GED. And she said, no, I left high school. I left high school when I was a junior, 11th grade, and never went back or anything like that. And so Kim said, okay, well, what if you went and got your GED? She's like, that always helps getting a better job, getting a raise, whatever you can do. And so she says, well, how do I do that? And so Kim gave her, some of the stuff that she needed, and she went and she got her GED. She was so thrilled that she was able to do that. She got this sense of worth, that sense of wanting, of getting something accomplished. She talked about taking classes at Dabney Lancaster. And so Kim said, oh yeah, I went there, I graduated. She's like, here, let me show you what you have to do. And single mother is taking classes part-time at Dabney Lancaster. And she came in and she was talking to Kim and myself and my wife, and she was so excited. She had this renewed passion for what she wanted to do, for learning. And she's, working towards getting her associate's degree and all that stuff. And I was saying to Kim, that's what we want to see more people do. We want to see them have that sense of worth, have that passion again.
Blue Ridge Legal Services. Our client was married to a man who worked in management at a certain luxury hotel, earning some $75,000 annually. She did not work outside the home. Instead, she stayed at home and raised their 5-year-old child. However, the husband was verbally and emotionally abusive to her for a number of years. He would work long hours, leaving her alone with their child, without a car or even a phone in their home. He used a cell phone. And they lived in a particularly isolated part of the county. About a year ago, he told her he didn't want to be married anymore. He quit his job and then deserted his wife and child, moving to Las Vegas. She came to Blue Ridge Legal Services for assistance. She was desperate. We assisted her in filing petitions for child and spousal support and obtained a court order for $1,400 a month. With the help of the Virginia Division of Child Support Enforcement, we were able to track him down in Nevada and then later in Georgia in order to put on a wage withholding order to ensure that he made his support payments. With this support, our client was able to purchase a car, and she began working part-time while obtaining her X-ray technician certificate. She is now enrolled in school, and our client is working full-time as an X-ray tech, and she is self-sufficient. Without our services, she would be, well, I don't know. Feeding America. There are more than 2,770 people in the Allegheny Highlands right now struggling to meet their basic need for food. It's easy to think that $1 won't do anything for them. But when it comes to feeding the hungry in our community, that's just not true. Every dollar donated enables Feeding America Southwest Virginia to help provide food for 7 meals. $1 creates 7 meals for people who are struggling to get enough to eat. Every single dollar makes a difference to a hungry family. Leah is a 30-year-old single mother with 3 children who came to town looking for a new start. She works 20 hours a week, but makes only about $200. Food stamps add $300 a month, but she still didn't have enough to make ends meet. Leah turned to a food pantry that Feeding America Southwest Virginia supplies with food. This was what she said. It helps me hold my head up, knowing that I am taking care of my kids. It feels like a blessing. You like what you hear? What can you do next? Well, next step is to make a donation. Then tell your friends about the GAUF and what we do, and ask them to make a donation too. Every dollar counts. Our GAUF representatives would love to come to speak at a work meeting or a community organization meeting to share what we do. Ask your employer about us. Does your company offer a donation match? Some will contribute a percentage of what you give. Start a company fundraising campaign. It only takes a little effort to provide a few incentives or just get into the spirit. The campaign director and assistant can give you some tips and ideas. Your company may also set up a payroll deduction. It's a very easy, painless way to give just a few dollars from every paycheck. They really add up over time. What's $5? It can save lives. What does it mean to donate? That means that you're now a member, and all donations are tax deductible. You're a member for 12 months after you make a donation, and again, you're invited to any of the GAUF meetings. So where should you send the donations? You may mail it to the GAUF at the address listed. You may email the GAUF with donation questions, or go to gauf.org and simply donate using our PayPal service. We thank you for your time, attention, and your support. You help people in our area live better lives. Thank you.